no matter the location. From O-A-K-L-A to L-V, I'm a Raider.
Let's talk some Las Vegas Raiders rumors and news here. Tom Downey filling in for Mitchell Renz. You can boo me in the comment section if you want. Type in boo. It's fine. But we're going to talk about Kenyan Drake right now. Now, John Gruden is hyping up Drake's role in the 2021 season. So the team is going to find a way to get him touches this year. And that makes sense because, the Raiders did give Kenyan Drake a 2-year, $11 million contract in the offseason. Now, my guess, and we'll break this down more in depth in a second, my guess and expectation is that you will see Kenyan Drake utilized heavily, in particular, in the passing game. But first, what John Gruden had to say, his exact quote. Quote, Doug Martin had 109 touches 3 years ago when Marshawn Lynch went down. DeAndre Washington had 144 touches when Jacobs went down 2 years ago. And this past year, Josh went down, and Devontae Booker had 110 touches. So we're going to try to circulate the touches Kenyan Drake's way. He's a guy that's made big plays. Now, in the end, there will be touches for Kenyan Drake. In today's NFL, running backs don't play every snap. If Jacob gets hurt again, then you feel good about having Drake back there as your RB2. So, assuming Jacob stays mostly healthy here, how many touches do you guys think Kenyan Drake will have in 2021? Is it going to be 150, closer to 200, maybe more in the 100 range? Get your votes in for me right now in the comments section. Now, Kenyan Drake last year for Arizona was at least partially utilized as a dual threat. Almost 250 carries in total, 239 for 955 yards. The problem, despite a very impressive and fantasy helpful 10 touchdowns, just 4 yards per carry in that Cardinals offense was a bit disappointing. There is a reason why some Cardinals fans wanted to free Chase Edmonds, and then they signed James Conner, so oops. The receiving game, though, and we've seen this in Arizona, Miami, and elsewhere, this is something that Kenyan Drake does offer. He does offer pass-catching value. And I am drawn to this hypothetical comparison here. Do you guys remember, and I'm sure you do, when the Raiders drafted Lynn Bowden, not this past draft, but the one before that, and said, hey, he's going to play what they called the Joker role, kind of a running back receiver hybrid. My expectation is that even though Kenyan Drake will be listed on Mitch's depth charts here at RB2, and I agree with that, I think Kenyan Drake could be used in that Lynn Bowden planned Joker role, where he'll line up in the backfield, he'll be the backup to Josh Jacobs, he will still get plenty of carries, he will be the number 2 back, the change of pace guy, maybe even some heavy third down usage. But I think you might see the Raiders even deploy some 21 personnel, or even just 20 personnel, get both backs on the field, and utilize Kenyan Drake as a receiver as well. Because if we're being honest here, this receiving core for Las Vegas isn't anything special. Henry Ruggs has the potential to be special. He certainly has the speed from that perspective. But, John Brown is maybe a bit of a wide receiver 3 at the top there. Hunter Renfrow can get some slot work. Willie Snead can as well. But I think with Drake's skill set, I think he might be used in an Austin Eckler, Nyheim Hines type of role where, yes, he is a running back, but he's heavily involved in the passing game as well. So I am very curious and, frankly, kind of excited to see how the Raiders end up using Kenyan Drake in 2021. Let's go to the defensive side of the ball now for the Raiders. Nickell Robey-Coleman. And this was floated out there by Raider Ramble, and it kind of bothered me a little bit on behalf of Mitch, so I wanted to discuss it here. They mentioned, well, what about citing Robey-Coleman to help compete at the nickel corner role? Which, from an experience perspective, I get it, right? Like, Robey-Coleman, I thought in 2019 played great for the Rams. I thought it was a steal for Philadelphia. Turns out the NFL knew maybe a little bit more than what I thought I knew there, because in Philadelphia, Robey-Coleman was not good. There's no way around it. In the nickel corner role in general, your completion percentage is going to be higher, simply because you're getting shorter, quicker passes. It's not as easy to cover it, but your yards are normally lower. Not the case for Robey-Coleman. 490 allowed through the air, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 1 pass breakup. Very disappointing numbers. And frankly, I think the Raiders have enough options at corner already. Look, we'll discuss Casey Hayward more in depth, but Hayward, Trevon Moehrig, Damon Arnett can all play outside corner. Yes, you want them to grow, especially Moehrig and Arnett, but those are highly invested young players who are going to be outside guys. I am a huge fan of Amik Robertson. I am a believer in him. I want to see him in that nickel corner role. They have Nevin Lawson still. Nate Hobbs is going to get some nickel corner run. Rasul Douglas, Isaiah Johnson are also all on the roster. So with the season that Robey-Coleman is coming off of, I question if he's really even an upgrade in the end in the nickel corner role. I frankly lean more towards he's not. So I'm curious what you guys have to say here. Do you think signing Robey-Coleman is a good idea? Do you want the Raiders to go do this? Get your votes in for me. Type Y for yes or type in N for no. Now, I mentioned that depth chart with Hayward and Arnett and Moehrig all being able to play on the outside. At the beginning of his career, Hayward was a nickel corner. So I wonder if in nickel and dime packages, if it's Moehrig and Arnett on the outside, Hayward in the middle, or maybe Arnett gets a nickel corner run. Either way, Hayward's a better corner than Nickell Robey-Coleman. I don't want to be pulling off Hayward or Arnett or Moehrig to put Robey-Coleman on the field. And this mostly stems from my draft evaluation of him, but I'm a big believer in Amik Robertson. I thought that was a steal. That is a playmaker who does, as you can tell by his size, very much fit the nickel corner mentality and mindset there. So I want to see him get first crack at the job. Now, Nate Hobbs also mentioned that he's going to get some run here in the nickel corner spot. I think that's a decent fit for him coming out of Illinois. So with all those guys on the roster, most of them drafted, that's the type of investment you don't necessarily want to move on from, especially for a potentially not obvious upgrade in Nickell Robey-Coleman. If you want to go find another edge guy, okay, you can have that conversation. Defensive tackle, sure. But another nickel corner, not sure that's the route that makes the most sense for the Raiders.